I saw you, I would lose control. Made me feel like there was no tomorrow. Should've told you that you're beautiful, but the days pass and now it's so long ago. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too. I wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Would you know my name? Would you know it and did you feel the same? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? It's too late now, 'cause I'm growing old, but I need you to deal with my sorrow. Just a memory, just a broken frame, and I know that I have no one else to blame. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too. I wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Would you know my name? Would you know it and did you feel the same? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Should've told you that you're beautiful. I wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Would you know my name? Would you know it and did you feel the same? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now?
Well, that's that. I started the music a little bit early. It is, my goodness, it is Sunday the 20th of January. It is time for CAD like nobody's watching. Didn't stream yesterday, didn't stream last Sunday. I've had a few other bits and bobs going on and just wasn't feeling it for the CADing, but I do need to get on with some projects. Otherwise, all of the robot minions fall to silence and we need to keep them busy. So let's get cracking today. If you happen to join the stream, let me know what you're working on. And yeah, other than that, I'm going to do a quick little recap of the little bits and bobs that have been going on for the last couple of days, and then we're going to crack on with some Fusion. And I'm going to change tack a little bit from the projects I've been working on that are still on the go, but back burner for the moment. I'm going to try and, I'm going to try and manifest some trophy designs that my wife has made. And then, we'll see how we go. There's a few ideas I have which will become relevant. Let's look at what we've been up to. So I think last time we looked at anything, this was the first proper true outing of my little collapsible carrier, which we've been designing over the last month or two, really. This works great. It got a comment at the at my local Costa. They were impressed. Partly they offered me their carrier, and their carrier is rubbish, which is why I designed this in the first place. So very good. Works with both a reusable cup and one of their regular cups. Job done. In normal rotation. Happy, happy, happy. thing that kind of distracted me from streaming yesterday is that I got a pool table. Is it excessive to have a pool table in one's house? Yes. Do I regret the purchase? No, I do not. Been playing quite a bit of pool. I'm trying to keep track of how many games we play because it's going to take a little while. Let's be honest, a little while to repay itself. But it's kind of fun to have. So that has been a distraction, which I've pulled myself away from this evening to do some CAD like a good boy and actually make some project work. But if you hear clickety-clackety in the background, that'll be my wife playing pool. So I did do a quick Fusion job yesterday. I didn't stream it. I ended up doing it in the morning. This was the print run, although I switched off the light somewhere. Yes, basically a quick enclosure, which you can see here. So bought, and this is the other thing that I kind of has kept me out of the workshop last couple of days. Bought a few bits and bobs to fix, sort out some stuff outside. So I got a cheap security camera just because it was there and I was shopping for other things and it seemed like a good price. But I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, but they come with a whole collection of cables that you connect. And there's like an Ethernet socket and power and a reset button. And I don't know if they expect you to drill a hole to put that stuff through a wall, but like that's a serious diameter worth of cables in those things. So instead, what I did was print that enclosure in blue and spray it black. This is all in shelter, so I wasn't particularly worried about it being that like watertight or anything like that. I just needed to keep the wires collected, and then there's just the single power line that I needed coming out of that. Looking at the picture, I do think maybe I should have put the hole on the other side to have the power line closer to that windowsill. I might adjust that later. But that happened. Other things I don't have pictures of. I installed a new light next to the front door. I just installed a floodlight out the back, which actually, now that it's dark, I can go and test for the first time after this stream. So wiring things, and I don't tend to take pictures and share those because whilst I'm very confident doing it, I'm not an electrician, and I probably shouldn't be encouraging other people to follow my footsteps. Like, I'm happy to do it for myself, and I understand what I'm doing. But I'm not gonna educate other people. They should either get an electrician or be confident in their own right. So anyway, that's what's been keeping me busy. And now Fusion. So this was a cheat. I didn't design these. You can tell because I've just imported these as STLs. They look a bit weird. These are pool rests because everything is about pool at the moment. So these are, I think they call them moose head pool rests. I imported them just to check the measurements, but I printed them. In fact, you can see, there you go. There's one on the print bed. I printed two, one for me and one for work, because work has a pool table. And it's just nice to have a rest, as it were. And so in I guess the idea of pool and such, I have some homework to do, which is what I will be working on right now. I don't know if this is going to show up very well. My wife has designed some trophies, several of which are pool related, that she would like me to design in 3D in a way that we can print. So I'm going to have a go at that, which should be fun. So that is what I'm going to start with, and we're going to start with a classic 8-ball rack. Now she wants these to be 3-dimensional, so they will be spheres. And she decided 10 mil. So the challenge will be, we want these to be like mini trophies. The idea is that we keep track of who wins the different games. And we have a number of different games. And like for a long time, we've had a paper cardboard trophy rack. I'm going to make some 3D ones. So with that in mind, let us begin and think about how to do this in a nice way. So a 10 mil sphere, and I want to create a pattern. So I think a rectangular pattern of, let's say, bodies in, let's go this direction. And come on, I want that. Why is that not letting me select it as a direction? There we are, because there was a number in the way. And we want, let's see, at the base, there are going to be 5 of them, and I guess the distance is going to be 10. Is that right? Why is that not doing anything? Because, in fact, why do I not even have... Is this Fusion giving me grief already? Like, I'm 2 minutes in Fusion and you're already not showing me anything that I would expect to see. Freaking... Do I need to restart you? Like, I should have extents, right? Oh, you've deselected my object. That's why. That's why. Fine. So, right, yes. I want 5 along the bottom. And I probably want to do spacing rather than extent. And the spacing is 10. So that gives me my initial base row of cue balls. Not cue balls, target balls, object balls, that's what they call them. So the challenge now is how to make the offset parts in the neatest possible way. So if I repeat the rectangular pattern, when I select direction, because technically it's a 5 balls to a side equilateral triangle. So if I could select the right angle here, that would give me something, right? That would let me fill in the exterior, but maybe that's not what I want. Maybe I just want to shift up, and maybe I'm overthinking this. If I just select these guys and do a move copy, create a copy, and just like 4 of them like that. Bum, bum, bum. That's, oh yeah, wow, that's miles off. So minus 3.2.3. Let's just check that. That looks about right. That's probably just the easiest way. Like, part of me feels like there ought to be a clever way to do this. A clever way would be good. But bum, 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 0.7. And yeah, I mean, this will probably do, won't it? We've got a slightly wider rack. I mean, technically in a real rack, they're supposed to touch. Is that going to be a problem? I don't know. I'm just going to carry on with this assumption. I would love to know if there's a better way to create this kind of pattern. Because you can do rectangular and you can do circular. And you can do on a path. But, oh no. You have to say create a copy before you move them. And do that. Is this inspired by snooker? Yes, Tom. This is in fact, it's going to be a pool rack rather than a snooker rack, although I guess it doesn't make any difference. It's going to be a trophy, like a teeny tiny little pool trophy, because if you just dialed in, I bought a pool table, which is currently downstairs, and we've been playing far too much pool. Well, I guess we've been playing not enough pool at the moment to justify the pool table, but we will. Not faces, bodies, make a copy of the bodies, right? So yeah, I'm just, like, I feel like I'm kind of grinding this through and not really designing it beautifully, but there you go. That is a rack of pool balls. And what I need to do is create the actual rack around the outside. So I was thinking that I would try and yeah, how am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? What is the best way to create? What if I try 3 slots? Is that going to work if I do from there to there and come out by like 10.5? That's like the interior line. If I create another slot, maybe this would have been an interesting way to achieve what I was going for. So this center to center. So if I do from that center to that center and make it 11 again. Oh no, I didn't make it. I made it like 10.5 or something, didn't I? Not 11. So do that and then do it again down the other side from that center to that center and out by 10.5. That's created those lines, and now if I can do an offset, I kind of want to do an, oh no. Yeah, no, I wonder if I can do, so I want to join these lines together, right? So what I kind of want to do now is break the slotness. So let's do that. Let's break you like there and there. And yeah, let's see if I can do this. So if the theory is break these lines from where they were part of their original slot and then rejoin them in a single continuous triangle. Can't do that. Has that done the trick? Maybe. Let's try an offset. So now I want to be able to do you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Excellent. And the design here says 2 millimeters for an offset. So we select that, bing, and then we can extrude that. And we'll have it both directions. So do I want it to be, oh, do they go all the way? I feel like it should go all the way on one side at least, but maybe not the other. There we go. That is my pool rack. And that is the 8-ball trophy fixed. So now I also have a 9-ball trophy and an 8-ball speed pool trophy that needs some kind of clock timer on it. Oh, and an 8mm stand. Okay. Looking at all the measurements. Right, so let's save that. So Tom, what are you working on at the moment or this weekend or generally? Things of goodness? Let me know. Right, so that is one. I'm going to create a copy of all of this, I think. Oh, of course, I'm going to need these things to actually touch to print them. That is a thing that I've only just thought about. They are going to have to be... how am I going to make them touch to print them? And it needs to... it's going to need to touch more than a little bit. Like I could I could have made all of these spheres like really tuck up right close to each other, but that will only be the barest of touches. So I either need a rear surface that the whole thing gets, or like maybe I put like rods through so that there's like a slightly wider diameter touch point through all these things. Okay, I need to think about that. For now, I'm going to create a copy of all of these. Create a copy of all of these. And we'll have a look at creating a clock face over the top of this. Actually, I guess the clock face doesn't really need to be on it at the moment. I can just put it on it in a second, but I guess the only thing is I want to judge the size. So if you can see, there we are. So I've done the one at the top, and now I'm doing this one. I don't exactly know how that's going to be printed, but broadly, let's bring ourselves aligned to front again properly. I'm going to draw a box that's kind of like, let's call that 24 by 12 maybe. That sort of seems like a reasonable surface to deal with. So we're going to need some kind of back surface, some kind of border, and then the digits within that. That is going to be a bit of a challenge. So I was thinking the border inside, but maybe that's a bit... I'm not going to have enough room, am I? This is going to be a bit dashed small. Let's give it a 1 mil border. Do it on the outside for now. We can then bring the whole thing. Yeah, you're going to need to be up a bit, but hey. How am I going to do... I should probably have named these or grouped these as well, shouldn't I? That would have been a good idea. Let's try that for now. Let's do that. No, come on. I want to select all of the. Let's try and select these and create them as a selection group, as a way of trying to keep track of them. No, select the body. Oh, that's interesting. Did I create the body as a weird? Oh no, there you are. So if I just do that. I want to keep track of you. Create components, create selection set. That's what I wanted, a selection set. And we'll call your selection set rack 1. Excellent. So that's good. And now let's so 17 through, no, damn it, 17 to all of those. Create another selection set for rack 2, and hopefully that will keep us a little bit straighter. Okay, so all of those, can I do that? There we are. I can turn them all off in one go. So what I'm just going to quickly do is give this some thickness. Let's say it's 1 mil thick. That's the border. I'm going to need the back to also actually have some thickness, aren't I? Come on, Fusion. There we are. Honestly, I want to go slow. It's not what I need right now. Thank you. You. Let's make you 0.5. Bum, bum, bum. So we've got ourselves a little bit of a frame, and we need to put some 7-segment display digits in it. I wonder if there's a font for that. That would be awesome if that would make life a lot easier. Let's do that. Let's say 0500. Oh. God. That is not what I wanted. 5. There we are. So if we give, oh blimey, that's going to be quite small. It will be small when you catch up with me. Yes, there we are. Right, so what I'm looking for is a font, which is 7-segment display. I wouldn't, it just feels maybe too much like good luck to have had that. Stylus and ooh, I mean that's not bad. Maybe I could go look for a 7-segment display font, but I am also thinking, what's the to display? That's pretty, but not what we're looking for. Because not all fonts let you extrude them. I've discovered this. So like Arial does, but a lot of fonts aren't really continuous lines. When you zoom right in, there are little breaks in them. And I don't know why that is exactly. Part of me wonders if it is a specific anti-theft kind of thing, that like if you put breaks in particular places on a font where no one would ever see them in usual use, but if somebody starts stealing a font, you can be like, well, we know that our font doesn't join at like the atomic level over here. Yeah, this is not good. Ooh, I tell you what though. I might be able to fake a 7-segment display if I can get something that looks close to the outlines, which is basically just a square font. Then I could just, if it does extrude, then I just need to cut, which seems like it would be a lot faster than constructing it from first principles. I may be wrong, particularly given given the fact that I'm just scrolling through fonts trying to find anything that's close. Consolas. No. That's ugly as all hell. I've got a load of random fonts that I have at various points installed. You'd think a square font would be not unreasonable. This is not good. This is not good CAD time, is it? This is just scrolling through fonts. And part of me knows I'm going to find a font that's going to be perfect, and then it's not going to extrude. Arg. What was that? Linotype? No good. Stencil. Hey, that'll do. That'll do for the now. Okay. Now let's see if I can extrude that font. 0.5. Yeah, that'll do it. Right, okay. We're saved. At the last moment, we're saved. Let's move you up by like 5 mil, and then we'll selection set our rack again, and we'll turn them all on. So that is that hovering right on top. Now, should I embed it? Maybe I should. But for now that looks all right. I'm not dissatisfied with that. I put it on the back, obviously, but that was foolish. Never mind. So that's 2 down. Let's try 9 ball. So we'll select you again, and we'll create another copy. I really only want to keep the. It's a good point, actually. I probably can deselect the rack. Don't need the rack, and I can get rid of that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Right. Now then, how is my rack generating thing going to work? Same way, I guess. Create a slot around the 4 edges, split them up, join them, create the offset. That worked well last time. Let's do it again. Sketch plane. So center point to center point. You are not center points at all. What are you doing? What are you doing? Let's try that again. So I appreciate that this is me just messing around with some fairly basic shapes at this point. 10.5. Am I not square on? That's why it looks a little bit weird. I was not square on, but now I am square on and it still doesn't look right. I think this is the problem of I didn't get all of these moves exactly right. So now that is way too close to there. Or is it? Well, let's just carry on doing it this way and see if it turns out to be a problem. Don't second guess ourselves. I thought that this was locking on the center of these spheres, but I'm not convinced that it is in fact doing that. I mean, it's sort of close. Did I get rid of that sketch? What happened to my previous sketch? Oh, goodness. That. Come on, do it. There we are. And we'll do it this way as well. Yeah, that is not really selecting what I think. I think that's centered. Hopefully these will be nice and fast to print anyway. There we go. So now we need to go in with some judicious line breaking. Come on, let's you, and down here. And then we create an offset of all of the exterior lines. This actually went surprisingly easily, this whole offset thing. I'm quite pleased by that. Let's do 4, and we did 2 sides, and we made the other one 5, so that it goes flush to the back but not to the top. Oh, except of course created this one backwards compared to the others. That reminds me, that is why that is not a good idea. Let's move this display to the correct side, because otherwise we're going to get into a terrible mess. Create you as a selection set. Let's do that. And then we can rotate that around 9 ball rack. So let's try and keep ourselves somewhat oriented. So I'm going to rotate those around so they match the other ones. Okay, so they're flat on the back and proud on the front. And then I'm going to take this fella, which is that body there, do the same thing, flip him around and put him on the front, not the back, which I would have been very annoyed to have forgotten. But let's flip ourselves around so we can see that properly. And like that, I guess. Now I could probably, again, since it's actually going to be 3D printed, these things do in fact need to touch each other. So we'll just embed that on top of those. Like that. Right. So we've got Speed Trial Trophy, regular 8 ball and 9 ball. The 9 ball has need of creating an actual flat base. So there is a design here for a little basey bit. What's the best way to do that? I think it's probably gonna be, if we sketch on the rack surface, we're gonna take a line from, it looks like about there, down to, I guess, level with this. So let's just track our line off like that. Let's call it 55 degrees. No, don't lose the line. Oh, maybe we'll bring it in. Maybe we'll make it 60 degrees because it doesn't need to be that wide out. Come on. It's these precision adjustments. Oh dear. Precision adjust. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Why don't you? So that's 60 degrees, but is that actually off that line? It isn't off that line, is it? Or oh no, maybe it is. It just doesn't show me. Okay. And then, see you later, Tom. And then I need to mirror that. Put a fillet over here. Let's have it like that. And we want to. What's the best way to get a mirror plane? I guess I just create a construction line that comes from there to there, and then we can mirror our lines like that. That needs an offset, I guess, or is that? Oh, is the idea that that's solid? I think the idea is that that's solid. Okay, fine. Mirror, mirror, mirror. And along our construction line. Good. And then we'll. So the design says an 8 mil. Oh, I guess that should be -8. I'm going to do it as its own body for the moment. And then we're going to move it to be centered on the 10 mil rack. Yeah. So let's do that. Move it back by 0.5 mil, I guess, because I think I made the racks 9 mil, not 10 mil. There we are. So that's just enough to be proud of that. So those are all the pool trophies. I still don't know how any of these are going to print. That's the problem, because they're all currently actually non-touching spheres. Part of me wants to just cheat and put them all on a back layer. That's probably the easiest thing. Let's have a look at what that looks like. If I do from here, sketch, oh, not there, sketch on that surface. What am I doing? I want to fill. Can I just extrude? I kind of just want to extrude this into interior space, but that's not going to work. What am I thinking? What is the easiest way? Select that plane. Now that you're a sketch, can I select you all? Yes, I can. See, that is the thing that catches me out. Let's say -1. And we'll join. Catches me out that certain things you can't get. That looks alright. Like, there's a decent interaction now with the balls, but from here that looks close enough. Let's do that. Let's assume that that is how everything hangs together, because I think that will print the easiest, and that means I can also print them on the bed that way. It's a perfect plan. It makes sense. So, sketch, select you as my sketch set. Now that you're a sketch set, you will let me select that to extrude. -1. Bosh. Don't cut. There we are. And repeat for this fella. I don't know why. Maybe I'm missing a trick, and that actually there is a way to do this without having to go into sketch first. But that is awesome. So that's one body. That's one body. Oh, you think that is... Oh, right, yeah, you are embedded, but I didn't join you. So let's combine you whilst I'm here. You and you join. So we're down to 1, 2, 3. Okay, the stand thinks it's a separate body, which we can join. Combine you and you. Done, done, done. Excellent. 3 mini trophies that are... Well, how tall is this going to be? Like 15 mil? Is that right? No, that's the length of that selection. 45 centimeters. Sorry, 45 millimeters. 4.5 centimeters. That's a good little size for a mini trophy. We can probably print all of these. What else have I got on my board here? I've got a Trivial Pursuit trophy and a Scrabble trophy. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to export these, and I'm going to slice them, and we'll see about getting that printing whilst I think about the others. That is what we're going to do. Just as soon as Fusion decides to actually do something. Spinny, spinny. How are we doing? 19 minutes until tea o'clock. Doesn't seem the same, does it? It's not. I mean, G and T o'clock had a ring to it. But such as it is, that is, we're still in dry January for another 11 days. Oh, come on, Fusion, don't crash. All I want you to do at this point is export the Poxin STLs so I can print them. That's all you need to do. I guess I do need to take the previous print off the print bread whilst this is thinking about itself. Let's show you that. There we are. Lovely. That's come out nicely. No, there we are. So that, well, that is a see-through. Oh my goodness, it's a camouflaged, but there you go. That is going to go into the office tomorrow and will give us a nice pull rest for there. Screen capture. This has decided to wake itself up. So let us do that now. Bum, 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 bum. CAD models, new folder, trophies. So you are a ball, and you, oh, come on. We'll get these out, we'll get them printing, and then it'll be pretty much time to go put dinner in the oven. And this fine Sunday evening, I can go check my floodlight, which I wired up earlier, and hopefully it will be bright enough and not too bright. It's always a bit of a trouble when you're trying to size like outdoor lights, like all the lumens and candles and all the rest of it. You want it to be bright enough to be useful without like blaring the entire neighborhood. Why is Fusion suddenly taking so long to export simple STL? I mean, they're fairly simple STLs. Come on, right. Speed pool. And last but not least, come on. You can do it. It's all those spheres, that's the thing. Oh, and I've got high refinement on. I'm probably going to actually, that's the other thing. I normally print everything, or I've been printing everything recently at like 0.3 mil layer height, super fast. Because they're normally printing quite big things. These are quite small. I'm obviously going to have to print them small. Now that I'm thinking that, actually, I was going to print all of these on their backs. And before I export this one, I think I'm going to make the stand flush to the back, because otherwise I'm going to print the damn thing and it's going to be, I'm either going to need support material under here or it's going to print badly. It's just going to be nicer if I do that. So before I combine them, let's come one step back here. Before I did that, let's move him back another 0.5 mil to be flush, and then we'll step forward again. Not strictly speaking exactly what the design was, but I think we need to adopt a little bit for the realities of the fact that I'm going to print them. I was just wondering whether I would try casting these out of anything, but it's probably not worth it. And I'm going to have to check. I don't know how small the detail on these numbers are. I'm going to have to check whether or not that's going to come out. 9 ball. Right. Slicer. Get rid of all of that. Bring in my models, CAD models, trophies. Let's bring them all in at the same time. Okay, so they're all obviously oriented that way. So let's put them on the deck. No, come on, put them on the deck. Like that. So, bum, 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 bum. You know what? It might be if I rotate this fella. I don't. Well, it doesn't make any difference. It probably doesn't make any difference. It's probably just me that thinks these things are worth doing. Getting things closer together on the print bed, so it has less moving to do. Right. So we're not going to do 0.3 super fast. We're going to do. Let's try detail. Ultra detail seems too much even for me. And the only reason I'm going to do this is because I want those spheres to give me a nicer, like the layer height doesn't make any difference at all if all you're doing is flat edges like this. But if you want to do nice curviness, then you need that detail. Right. I'm going to get this going. We're basically out of time. I don't think that there's much point in me jumping on to the next things, so I might just call it a day at this point. I don't know how interesting it is to anyone that either watches live or after the fact, me running a slicer. Well, I mean, I guess if it's not interesting, then you can leave. People jump around anyway. Let's do this. We'll call this pool trophies. How long is that going to take? Probably absolutely ridiculous amounts of time considering the size of these things. Let's see. Come on. Tell me. Will you be done today? 4 hours? Guess. Thinking about it real slow. Come tune into YouTube and watch Dan watch programs go really slowly. It's flowing television. I need to think of what the next proper project video is, not just this nonsense. I mean, the gate is obviously a design that I'm working on. That is going to be a big project. I think I need to give the design a lot more thought. So it's probably a ways away from being anything. 6 hours? Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's try being a wee smidgy less picky about. So I'm going to come back to optimal because like half this thing does not need. I really only need the detail for the tops, right? Like as long as the very top looks crisp. Let's do that. Come on. So from about there, we'll max it out to the top. And similarly with you, come on. From about there, we'll max you out to the top. So we can print the vast majority of this faster. So let's slice on that basis. I will be curious to know the difference between print the whole thing at 0.1 with 6 and a bit hours. That's just a crazy amount of time. I know that's not in 3D printing world, but I printed this, which seems like quite a lot of material in a tiny fraction of that. Wow, like an hour. I printed a lot of things in considerably less time, which had a lot more material in them. Let's do that. Yeah, let's replace it. I know it has the name of the thing in it, but I wouldn't have any time by We're giving ourselves detail in the front surface that we care about. I'm on the edge of my seat. Literally. Not literally. Come on. If we knocked any time off, I'll be happy. It's probably going to be like 8 hours. How dare you? The anticipation. Sorry, the anticipation. This is basically it. This is all I have to offer in a live stream at this point. I do want to think about more projects. I do want to get back to the Nerf gun. Just so many things, so little time, particularly when I constrain myself to 4 hours. I managed to save myself 2 hours of print time by restricting the detail to the top surface. I am happy with that compromise. Obviously, if it said 4 hours in the first place, I'd have been like, 4 hours, that's insane. But it knows how to play hardball. It has convinced me that 6 hours was what I was going to get. So let us, come on Octoprint. Let's upload. Let's go models, trophies, pool trophies. If I get this going now, there's a chance I see them done before bedtime. That's basically what we're saying. Where have you gone? Oh, there we are. Open you and print. Bed is heating. That is that. That's enough of me yammering on for today. I know I normally do an hour, but things change. Get with the program. That's what happens. Thank you for watching. If you watch, you probably don't. It is called CAD like nobody's watching, so that's kind of the point. Even though I've spent half the time slicing, I make the rules here. That's fine. So for now, I will bid you adieu, and I will see you maybe next week, by which time it still will be dry January. Oh God. But we will be much closer to the end of that. See you next time.